get back at your company without people knowing. And as believers, we're vulnerable to this because we know, right? You don't want to get caught getting back at someone, right? I mean, you like lead a lesson in small group, right? And you're done. Everyone's gathered around the refreshment table. You've got your cookie in one hand and your cup of fruit-infused water in another hand. And somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, I appreciated the lesson, but don't you think it was a little long? You're kind of sleepy there." "Yeah, well, why don't I help you wake up?" You're not going to do that. Or somebody, you're driving up to the church parking lot and somebody speeds up and cuts you off. And they take the last parking space. "Oh man, so upsetting. Now you have to back out, go find street parking." Man, like you're seething inside. What are you going to do? Oh, wait till next Sunday. Wait, see him coming down the street. Oh, there he is. You cut him off. Oh, pull up, get that last space. Hey! Morning, brother. How you like me now? Huh? You remember last Sunday? We don't do that. When you do that, you're probably going to get excommunicated. So, what do we do it in subtle ways? Maybe no one else knows. Maybe not even the person that we're getting back at knows we're getting back at them. Right? I call it the Christian way to get rid. And so, yeah, your pastor preaching, he says something, and you know he's picking on you. Right? He says something. "Oh, you remember last week, somebody," you know he's talking about you. Everyone in the room knows he's talking about you. You get upset. You're serious. "Oh, that's no fair. I don't get the pulpit." Right? He's there and, man, showing me up. And you kind of sink down your seat. Oh, you're so upset. And then, hey, a couple weeks later, the pastor said, "Oh, I'm going to be a little late to the potluck tonight. Yeah, I got to take care of a wedding first. And, me and the missus, we're not going to have time to cook. Can you make an extra meat dish for us," right? What do you say? "Sure, Pastor. Yeah, I can take care of it." All right, so you start preparing your meal. You're going to bring a nice lasagna dish. But for the pastor, you're going to make meatloaf. Except you're not going to use beef, you're going to use goat meat. Oh, what's this? Or that? That's from pastor.
Sabotage.
And now you might think, "Well, I would never do that to my pastor. Okay, I don't care what he does." No, I did something to a senior pastor that I had before. Okay, you guys remember that I mentioned that my first ministry, I was really frustrated with it. The pastor was really critical, right? I once ran through a series for him to show him what I was planning to do. These are the messages I'm going to give in this series, right? Like the series I've given up, give here, or Swerve. And hey, pastor, could you check this out? What do you think? Okay, you might want to change this, might want to change that. How's this? Good, that's good. So I do a nice little half sheet bulletin. This is for the evening service that I was taking care of, trying to make it look really nice. Put it in the Sunday morning bulletin so that people will see that, and then they'll come to the evening worship, right? Because I want to try to build the evening worship. So I do that, have it in the bulletin, looking nice. The pastor saw it, and he must have gotten threatened by it. Because all of a sudden he said, "I wouldn't say it this way. I wouldn't put it this way." This is on the pulpit now, right? During announcements. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think anyone came from Sunday morning worship to the evening worship after that criticism? No, they didn't come. And so, with that evening worship, we were able to grow it sometimes to a point where not just 80 people attended, but it was usually around 40. But he wanted 100 people after 1 year. We were at 40, so it wasn't enough. So he was critical about that. It was like I couldn't be too good, it would threaten him, but then if I wasn't good enough, it would threaten him too, because he's the supervisor, not doing well enough. So I got so frustrated, I decided to resign. I don't know what to do anymore. I've had it. I resigned. But I still kept going to this church because all my friends were there. And I still kept worshiping there. And every time I listened to his messages, I get so frustrated. Oh, you don't do that. That's not what you do with me. Well, that sounds good up there. I had all this resentment and anger going on. I wanted to give him a piece of my mind. But I was too cheap. I couldn't do it to his face, right? But there was another sister there, another woman, and I knew that she had no hesitation of going to this pastor's office to chew him out and give him a piece of her mind. And so she was single, I was single, and she really liked me. I could tell. I wasn't interested in her. But she would want to talk to me all the time, right? So when we talked, I would tell her all the negative things that pastor said. Oh, and he's not doing this right. He's not doing that right. And lo and behold, she would go rush into the pastor's office during the week and let him have it. Right? All the things that I told her, she told him right to his face. And one day, right, the pastor actually came up to me and he said, "You know that woman? Man, she's always coming to my office and she's always saying all these bad things about me and telling me what an awful pastor I am. It's driving me nuts." And I was like, "Oh, really?" Wow, that's true bad. Even though I did not get revenge and retaliate directly, in God's eyes, it was just as bad. We fall into that trap. But when we are willing to admit it, and we're willing to wait, not only that, but ask forgiveness, that's when we can serve and God can use us. Do you remember I told about that girl Ethel and a small group from her church in Ventura when I started the message yesterday? You remember that? Mm-hmm. So after the retreat, they went home to their church in Ventura, and I didn't hear from them for a while. A few months later, I got a call, and they want me to come and speak at their Friday youth group meeting. I said, "Sure, it's going to be a long drive from Anaheim all the way to Ventura, but hey, I remember them, and I really appreciated them being there." So I made that trip up, and I go to their fellowship, and I look, and I thought there was just going to be 5, maybe 10 people at the most. There are 25 people at this fellowship, and they're excited. I said, "Wow, this is great. Do you guys always have this?" No, it's just recently this happened that we have so many people." And I said, "What happened? What happened? This is great." And she said, "Well, after the retreat, God really convicted us. We really needed to, start seeking Him." And then my friend and I, well, we were enemies. We became enemies. And I realized that it was wrong. She was doing the ultimate, very common passive-aggressive tactic. She was giving her ex-best friend the cold shoulder. But she said, "I realized I was wrong. I asked my friend to forgive me, and now we're best friends again." And her best friend was there, right? Her best friend actually said to me, "Oh, you're Lionel? Wow, so you're the stud." Oh, that's the first time in my life I've been called a stud. Why are you saying that? She just explained that after Ethel apologized, they became friends again. She came to church, she accepted the Lord, she got baptized. They started to tell all their friends about Christ. They came to church, they accepted the Lord, they got baptized. The people I saw there were the new members that were following Christ because they were willing to put aside their human nature. They were willing, instead of swerving, they were willing to serve. And so that's what God has in store for us. Great things. I don't know what's going to happen after this retreat, but I know that if we're focused on Him, serving Him, He's going to make us excellent. Amen. Amen. Jesus, we just thank you for